Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live English lesson with me, teacher Zdenek. And first of all, I owe you an apology, and this is because, unfortunately, my internet provider decided to let me down in the most important moment in history. It's not exactly in history. It was literally, literally. I sent 5 minutes before the live. I sent a message to my student Dennis. Hi, Dennis.
Hello, everyone.
And then I wanted to connect to StreamYard, which is the streaming platform that I use for recording these lives. And blackout. There was a blackout. Couldn't connect to the internet on my phone. My Alexa stopped working. I had no internet for about 10 minutes. So what a disaster. I thought, oh my God, what are my viewers going to say?
It happens.
It happens, yeah, to the best of us.
Yes.
But I
It's
didn't let
technology.
exactly.
Sometimes it works. Most of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't.
So I didn't let you down, viewers. It just I was let down. Okay, but we still made it in the end, um albeit albeit a few minutes late. So Dennis, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all.
Nice to hear that.
Okay,
What's the
fantastic.
weather like in Podjobradi?
In Podjebrady, which is the town I live in, yes, the weather is much better than a few days ago when it was a bit too cold for my liking. But
Similar here in Bosnia.
mm,
Yesterday there was a storm. Oh, a lot of rain.
mhm.
We haven't had so much rain lately.
Okay, fantastic. So, Dennis, you chose the topic of learning English. So, I'll ask you a simple question at the beginning, yeah, because I always have some questions prepared. So, how long have you been learning English?
Um, to be honest, I think it has been more than 10 years I have been learning English. Yeah, and I think it's a process that actually never ends. It's like
Mhm.
a marathon. So if you want to develop that skill and if you want to become fluent, you must practice. Practice a lot. It's like a playing an instrument. Yeah,
Absolutely.
when I was in elementary school, in high school, I thought it's just set of rules, grammar, vocabulary, but it's more than that. And
Mm,
you know
mm.
that better than me. And
Yeah,
I also would like that your listeners understand the importance of practicing.
yeah. These are some words of wisdom, Dennis.
Thank you.
Um, Honestly, I can't stress enough what you've just said. I can't emphasize it enough. Hi, Max. Hi, Max. Good to have you here. And you said it's a process. It's a marathon. Yeah.
It's a
The thing
marathon.
is, most people don't like to hear it, do they?
True,
It's
true.
it's it's an unpopular thing to say.
Yeah. Actually, people like to see, like to hear a nice clothed lie instead of rude true truth telling truth. It's not pleasant most of the time, and if you want to develop a skill, it always requires some pain in the
Mm,
process.
mm.
You must devote your time, you must invest, you must give your energy, but it
Ex-
pays out, I think, in
yeah.
the end.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 Honestly, this is true. Yeah. And this is coming from someone who has achieved this level. Yeah. So I think we should believe people like that, everyone, because
And yeah,
it's someone who has achieved this level of English, like Dennis.
And I must admit something.
Yeah,
In
go on.
elementary school and in high school, I didn't learn English at all. It was German. So I started learning English when I went into college. And actually, it was serious after I finished my study, because I recognized, I figured it out that it was really important for me, and I started learning English. So imagine where I would be now talking about my English level if I started in elementary school.
Well,
Maybe
again,
even worse. It
oh,
depends.
who
Yeah,
knows? Who
yeah.
knows? Who knows? Because there are a lot of people who learn English at school, but they don't learn it in the right way. They
Yes,
don't.
true.
They are not motivated enough. So it's quite possible that someone starts learning English at a relatively late age. It's all relative, I know, right? But quite late, let's say, and still achieve fantastic results as long as you are motivated. Yeah.
True. Uh,
Um, yeah.
yeah, I've really tried different methods, almost everything from different sorts of software, uh, podcasts, books, traditional courses, online schools with international teachers, reading books almost daily. So I actually I'm doing my best. I've done my best, and I feel that now I can communicate almost on a fluent level. I can read without any problems. I can spread my ideas to others. They can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Although I am definitely not like a native speaker. I maybe I don't use the right words sometimes, but people understand me and I understand them. That's actually
I
is
think
very very important.
my opinion is that people should even stop saying I'm not like a native speaker because you have a lot of
Mhm.
native speakers who don't give the best model of English for
I
one
know that.
reason
I know.
or another. It could be grammar wise, it could be to do with the choice of vocabulary they have, and also the kind of pronunciation they have. Um, because perhaps they have an accent which is not very intelligible to people they work with. I mean, if it's just them using that accent, who are we to tell them this is wrong? I'm not saying that. When it comes to what we call English as lingua franca, which is the English we use to communicate with each other as, let's say, Europeans or with anyone in the world, really, it doesn't have to be in Europe, then the easier it is to understand what you're saying, the more effective a tool it is, right, for communication. So sometimes when people say, I'm not like a native speaker, I think we are obsessed with this phrase, a native speaker. We are just, I think we put a native speaker on a pedestal these days. Yeah, and I try to change my students' mindset about this. Not just my students, but anyone who listens to my podcasts. And I have been like that, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
talking to myself as well. This is the kind of thinking we have been that has been instilled in us for years, that the native speakers are the best. We have to be like them. And then we finally meet them, we stammer and we can't say anything because of the way we respect them. But I don't know. I feel like maybe we should respect people like you more. Someone who has achieved English to such a high level that they can talk about it like you can now here. Talk about it
Yes.
and share the tips, spread the knowledge, and help other people learn English. Of
I
course,
definitely, yeah, sorry for interrupting you. I
go on.
definitely agree with you. And then when I say that you are a real a role model, definitely, because you are not a native speaker, but you're a great teacher. And I really chose you from the moment I found your name, or actually Luke mentioned it. I found your podcast, and since then I've been listening to you, and I really like the way you are explaining things. I really know that you are a knowledgeable person, that you are a great English teacher, that you are always doing your best. So, and it for me, it's easier to understand you
Mm.
because uh, native speakers sometimes speak too fast, or I don't know, maybe choose the words. I don't know, but you are always trying to give your listeners the the right vocabulary. You try to speak in a right speed or pace. So I really admire that and
Well,
like.
thank you, Dennis. I appreciate your words. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
It's very flattering.
yeah. And I know
But
that you also worked in London, right?
yeah, I think
Like
it's
like an
about like
English teacher.
I know what I'm doing as a teacher. Yeah, so I
Mhm.
know how to teach, and that's very important. I believe to
Yeah, I
know.
think that's more important than
Yeah,
being just a native speaker, because you can be a
exactly.
native speaker and completely, I don't know, dumb.
Yes, and or just have weird methods
Yes,
of teaching the
true.
language, or just lack of knowledge. So if your students
Mhm.
ask you questions, you don't know
Mhm.
how to explain it. But I would, at this point, I would like to sort of play devil's advocate as well. So if you are a well qualified native English native teacher, and you know what you're doing, like we can speak about someone like Luke. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
we,
true.
we know who Luke is. We have listened to his
Mhm.
podcast for years, both Dennis and I. And Luke has inspired me to create my podcast. And I can name a lot other uh, great native speaker teachers. Then of course, these teachers are fantastic, especially if they speak
Mhm.
at the right pace. If they grade down their language depending on who they talk to, if they can talk to their audience in a manner that it's understandable, then okay, they are brilliant. Yeah,
Yes.
what I was saying is it wasn't aimed at all native speakers. It was aimed at this idea that native speakers are ah, something we should always admire, and it just drives me crazy sometimes. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it doesn't help my business, to be honest. I say business like
Yeah, I
as me
think.
as the brand teaches Denek, right? It doesn't really always help me because a lot of people just think teaches Denek. Oh, it doesn't even sound English. What's this accent?
Zdenek,
I
yeah.
understand him. I see what he's saying. It's too simple. Is he even right? I don't know. Should I even believe someone who doesn't sound as an American person or as a British person? You know what I mean?
Yes,
doesn't really it
definitely.
doesn't really help me. But at the same time, they do offer native speakers do offer a great pronunciation model if they are excellent teachers, if they
Mhm.
know what they're doing, if they
Mhm.
speak clearly, enunciate correctly, and all that.
Use
And it,
use humor, like Luke
yeah, yeah, humor,
does. Yeah,
because it connects us. It's emotions, humor.
yeah.
It's
I like him. Sorry, I like him swearing from time to time, because he actually trying to do and to speak like people in England. Yeah, and they are not like Queen. Definitely, they also swear. They also tell some rude words.
yeah,
So it's
no,
it's not it's natural.
no, absolutely. Okay, so what else should I ask you? What should be the next question? So,
I don't know. Maybe
um,
about methods, right?
methods. Yeah, all right, all right, all
Yeah,
right. So, what are your so I don't know what your knowledge of teaching methods are, but um, how about can you give us some English learning tips? Would that be a good question?
yeah.
Can you give us
As I
some?
told you, I've tried almost everything. I think that the most beneficial thing for me when we are talking about English learning is reading, especially if you do it out loud. You practice reading, you practice speaking, you also learn grammar in the process. So only maybe um, what is writing is missing, right? But you when you read it, it somehow stays in your memory, I would say. Sometimes some teachers say, yeah, the memory is in the pen, not in the brain, when we are talking about writing. But also when you read, yeah, it could be automatic process when you just read a few first letters and some
So,
of the last.
may I interrupt you, Dennis?
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course.
so obviously I agree that the skills are obviously connected. They are linked. There's no denying that. There's no doubt about that. But are you suggesting to me that if you read a lot, you will also write well?
I'm not sure. I told you that that skill is missing. You are missing actually to practice writing when you read, but you still practice speaking if you read it out loud, and you learn some grammar, and of course you speak. So
Mm.
reading is my favorite method of learning. A few years ago, it was learning from different books. One of them I would definitely suggest to you and to your listeners is 4,000 Essential English Words. It is book published, I think it's from 2009, written by Paul Nation, a professor from New Zealand, and he's a specialist in teaching vocabulary. And I think vocabulary is important. Of course, grammar is also very important, but you must know some words if you want to say something. And the more words you know, you sound more fluent, I would say. You better express your ideas. You communicate more naturally.
Yep.
And yeah, the book is organized is an interesting way. In each book, there are 5 or 6 of them. 4,000 essential English words. In each book, there are more than 600 words, essential words. And each chapter starts with a story. And in the story, you've got around 20 unique words among the most basic ones. And I'm not telling that the story consists only of 20 words. But the words that you want to learn in each chapter are included in the story.
Yeah. So
And
you see the words in context,
yeah, you
which is
see the words
crucial.
in contents.
Mhm. Yeah.
True. Then there is a word list, or it was like chapter, then word list, right? Story and word list, where you have got some drawings. Each word describes in several ways. One is definition of the word, the function in a sentence,
Yep.
a graphic, and a sentence describing the word. For example, carefully. Carefully means with great attention, especially to detail or safety.
You have a
Then there is a
definition.
sentence. Yeah, the baby carefully climbed down the stairs, and you've got a pictures of baby.
That's an example, and it's
Yeah,
and then you have a visual, which is important.
yeah,
So that
yes,
helps
yes,
you because you can
yeah,
remember the picture. Actually,
true.
humans tend to remember better if pictures than words.
True,
I
true.
think
That,
that is scientifically
yeah,
proven. So it's if you can have an image in your head when you're trying to memorize a word or a phrase, if you can picture some kind of vivid or some kind of memorable thing, something it could be something crazy or something connected to what you know or something strange
yeah.
or whatever funny.
I know that
Yeah.
it's a theory which is really proved. It's a link actually. It could be some strange image. I think there is a method how to easily memorize more than 20 words.
Yeah,
Just try to make a weird story in your mind
yeah,
using that word, these words.
you're right. It's
So
like
it's yeah,
something like the mind palace or something like
yeah,
that. You've got like
true.
you have to
Mental,
visualize it like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
mental map. I think it's a
mental
kind
map.
of
Yeah,
mental map. Yeah. And after word list, you've got some exercises. And there is audio version of the books with all the words and stories. So I really, really liked it. And I really, um, how is the word? The word is, if I want to
Describe.
say that
Mhm.
I would like people to try it.
You would like to recommend it.
Recommended, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's in my word, but it actually recognized wanted to go out from my mouth, and I just stay quiet. Recommend. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes it happens.
it does. It happens to a lot of people. Don't worry.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. Well, let us greet Julia. Julia, thanks for watching as always. We also have Helen, who agrees that reading is great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would be careful. I know there is connection. The skills are interconnected, linked. But I think if you want to improve your writing, it doesn't mean that if you read a lot, you will be good at writing. You really need to
Mm-hmm.
write to be good at writing. Yeah. Even when people listen and read a lot, yes, yes, you will expand your vocabulary. Yes, you might improve your passive knowledge of the vocabulary. You will develop your listening skills, reading skills. You will start to understand how grammar works.
Mm-hmm.
However, these are receptive skills. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have productive skills, speaking and writing. And if you really never speak, if you are a shy person, or in some cultures people don't speak so much,
True.
maybe, so they are a bit shy. You know what? You're not gonna be as good at speaking as you are at reading. You might not even recall those words that you have seen in those books and heard in those podcasts. You might not recall them because you don't have that practice of speaking. It's a different skill. Yeah. So yes, there is a connection, but you also have to practice other skills. Honestly, yeah, that's how it
Mm-hmm.
works.
I
Um,
definitely agree with you. But reading is, I would say, the easiest way to enjoy English.
if
Even if
it's
you are introvert and don't want to speak, you can always read. And there
yeah, yeah.
are a lot of really nice books,
Mm.
and you can enjoy reading English
And then
books.
there is a question. There's a
Mhm.
question. Isn't what you are suggesting a little bit controversial in a way? Like you're suggesting a book. Yeah. So this is a vocabulary book. It's.
Mhm.
I think this should be used, in my opinion, to expand your knowledge. But should it really be used as the main source of your learning? Is this the way? I don't know. Maybe the best way to learn, in my opinion, could be reading authentic material, or maybe graded readers, let's say, where you have it
Mhm.
in real stories. Because even these books, just like
Mhm.
any other course books, are artificially made for English learners, artificially made, so they don't really reflect the real life.
You're right. You're right.
They might to some extent, yeah, because you've got those
Mhm.
little stories there where you have that vocabulary. But is that really the natural way you normally come across vocabulary? Like when you read, I don't know, Shakespeare,
Yeah,
or
definitely
maybe
not.
something
Yeah,
simpler like Alice in Wonderland, let's say, or Harry Potter. I
true.
think when you read Harry Potter, it's so much more powerful for you as a learner.
Mhm.
I know it's harder. I know, you might argue, okay, but what if I just start with English? Yes, then graded readers,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
You're
maybe.
you're definitely right. I just mentioned this book because I started with this material, and I'm not using them anymore. There is
But it's,
also
mm,
something like this, reading for speed and fluency, the
yeah,
same author. And there are a lot of materials online really nowadays. So
absolutely, yeah.
I
Well,
just found a nice book, put it on my Kindle, and enjoy reading.
there is something nice about having that book in your hand or in your Kindle.
Mhm.
I understand. Like there's some also that gives you this sense of achievement when you complete the book. Yeah.
True,
So
true.
there is something about it. I agree. I'm just saying there are too many people who are obsessed with it. Like there's this book, English Grammar in Use, which is the most classic grammar book you can think of. You have it. Oh, it's a similar. It's like
I've got a lot of
similar
books.
similar book, but
Yeah,
the classic English grammar books, English Grammar in Use is a
yeah.
dark blue. It has a
This
dark
is
blue cover.
advanced. This is
Uh,
advanced. I've got the blue one, but this is for intermediate students.
you know what? I probably have it.
I've got the blue one also.
Give me a
It's
second. I
like a
might find.
classic
I might find
blue.
exactly the same book here.
Yeah, yeah,
Give me
yeah.
a second.
Okay. The blue one is
Yeah,
Bible.
so it's different. It's different. But I have also some. I have also a green book.
Mm,
Yeah, I have books like this, but usually I don't use it for myself. But um, at some point in my teaching career, I have used it with my students. These days, I tend to avoid this kind of material. I just teach in a more natural way. I'm not saying it's the best way, but it's I have kind of arrived at that point in my career. And you are an Achievers Chamber member, so now I like to work I work like to work with a community, people who know each other, because it gives you that feeling of though there's something real going on there. There's something real going on. It's a real communication. People get to know each other. We are different from we come from different countries, yet we are able to communicate and we are improving together. Yeah, I'm the guy that is sort of running the place, right? So you have a teacher there as well. Yeah. So this is where I am at now as a teacher. I've had my own journey of sort of self discovery, or no, maybe that's not the right expression. My own journey of realizing what works and what doesn't
mm,
when it comes to English learner, and I've used all sorts of different methods. It's really good to experiment. It's also it might not suit you as a teacher as well.
mm, mm,
So this works for me quite well because I think it's very motivating and it's in a way it's liberating as well if you get away from those books. It's liberating because you have that powerful moment when you can actually choose what you do. Like today you chose this topic, yeah, and it's very powerful because we're gonna talk about something you are interested in, right? it's
true.
it's it's so powerful, so it's your interest.
And
And
completely unprepared. Yeah, because we decided a few moments
shouldn't say
before.
that. I shouldn't say that.
Shouldn't say.
I shouldn't say that because I have changed the concept. This is all prepared, everyone. Yeah, I've changed the concept. Dennis had a choice from three topics, and he chose one. Actually, we ignored that rule. We ignored that rule. Now Dennis let the cat out of the bag, so we kind of have to go with it now. But yeah,
But it's I think it's more fun than following some prepared questions. For me, I'm talking from my perspective. I really like to be natural, to
Mm,
improvise, to think while I'm speaking.
yeah,
So it's actually uh, it shows that my English works.
mm, mm,
If I'm able to think,
yeah,
once somebody told me that the moment when you start dreaming in English,
mm,
then your brain starts to accept
mm.
another language and starts to use it, and it really happens to me from
Oh,
time to
great.
time. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think it comes down to having some people in your life who use that language.
Hmm.
If you have some real people in your life who use that language, because what else would you dream about? Dreams are reflections of what we do in
Yes.
our life, right?
True.
So you could dream about a podcast you have listened to, but how often does that really happen? It's more
Yeah.
common that you have a dream about you talking to someone or you being there are some characters in your dreams, right? Some
True.
real life characters usually. And if in my opinion that's how it works for me, if these real life characters are people that don't speak your first language, that don't speak Bosnian in your case,
Hmm. Hmm.
then yeah, you can have a dream about them or with them, or you can have a dream with them in the dream. But can you really have a can you really have them in your dream talking your language? I don't think so, because these people in your real life don't speak your first language. So how could they suddenly start speaking it? It would be more difficult for your brain, I
True.
think,
Yeah, you're completely right.
to
I
suddenly
just
give them a voice or accent, and suddenly your brain wouldn't accept it. The brain
mhm.
wouldn't allow it that these guys speak
Yeah.
Bosnian to you. It's more okay.
Yes,
It could happen, right? It's
yeah,
not
you're
completely.
right. You're right. My dreams are more like some situation from podcasts because I often listen to podcasts before going to bed. And
Mm,
sometimes I just have some reflections or some
yeah.
ideas, some dreams connected to the episode.
So this is
And I just,
how I, yeah, because I remember my first dreams in English were with, like, when I was back in 2005, when I was living in England on a construction
mhm,
site, and I dreamt about me working on that site and with my boss. I was talking to my boss, who was English at the time. Yeah, so I mean, he is probably still English if he's still alive, because he was an older bloke. And when I say
mhm.
bloke, he was a
Eh,
bloke because he was a Cockney. So
mhm, mhm. Do you have a podcast about your first traveling to England?
I've told this story many times. Yeah, I'm
Ah,
sure
yeah.
on my
Okay,
podcast I've
okay.
mentioned it many times. And if you guys want to hear my story, I think I've talked about it quite well on Luke's English podcast when I was a guest
Mhm,
there. I don't know what the
mhm.
episode was,
Okay.
500.
I
I
know that
can't
I've
remember.
heard somewhere.
Yeah. Was it 569? I think so. Episode 569, Luke's English. I'm gonna try to, yeah, episode 569 and episode 570. It was a double episode, and I tell my story, how I learned English and how I've lived in the UK and what I did there. And if you want to hear that story, then you'll have to find this episode on Luke's English podcast in Luke's
Great.
archive. Yeah.
I'm sure
All
I've
right.
already listened to it, but I'll do it again. And I want to point out one more thing. At this level of English, I think that the most uh, important is to start communicate with people, like the process we do in Achiever Chambers group. So it's a nice place, guys, if you want to improve your English, if you want to level up, join us and
It sounds like
join
you
us.
have. It
Yeah.
sounds like you have prepared this in advance.
No, no, I think level up is from another podcast.
Yeah,
You know
Michael,
what I'm
Michael,
talking about.
Michael, level up your
Yes. Yeah.
the level up podcast. I've recently had
Yes.
Michael on my podcast as a guest. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this phrase, that's why this is such a good marketing phrase. Yeah,
Mhm.
level up the
Yes.
level up what is it? The level
Level up
the level
English.
up English podcast, right?
Yes. True.
Yes, because it sticks in your mind. You have a
Mhm.
connection with gaming. Maybe you imagine your hero, your character leveling up. Yeah, so they're like,
He's got an interesting logo pointing up
yeah, yeah,
arrow.
he's clever. This guy, he's clever.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I should learn
I
from
like
him.
him. I like him.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Mm.
All right, Jolly. Hello, good to have you here as always. Um, I think Helen is saying it worked out not too badly for me. But Helen, badly is spelled with one D. Um, it worked. Yeah, you could say something worked. You could say it really worked. This method really worked. But I think if you're talking about a long process and then there is some kind of result at the end, often it could be even a surprising result. Then I would use the phrasal verb to work out. So I would say it worked out. It didn't work out too badly for me. Yeah, you could say it worked, but I think if you want to use badly after it, it works. Yeah, that's the problem. If you have the combination of badly and work, you would say my phone works well. My phone works badly. You know that's why how we would use it. But if you want to talk about what you are talking about, in that case, I would just say it worked out badly, or it didn't work out badly for me. That's how I would use it. And last but not least, we have got a question for Max. Um, do you look up every word that you don't know while reading, Dennis? Very good question indeed.
Sometimes I had that practice. I wanted to understand everything, and in Kindle there is a like a dictionary in
I love it.
in the, yeah, and you can just click
It's
on
called.
the word
Mhm.
and
It's
you get
yeah.
like an
It has
online
name.
dictionary.
It's
Yeah,
called Wordwise, as far as I know.
but nowadays I don't do that at all because
Huh?
I want to understand context. I don't I don't try to understand every word, each word. I always have problems with each and every. And yeah, still there are a lot of words I don't understand. But it actually depends on the level. Is something is written,
Yeah.
and how how special is that matter? Of course, if you read some medical papers or engineering
Mm.
papers and some funny news, vocabulary is completely different.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm completely sure that native speakers do not understand some words from, especially from some special fields, some professionals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Specialized
yes,
field. Yeah. Hmm.
yes, and I think there are a lot of books. I don't know, for people who want to use English and are low professionals, medical staff, engineers. There are dedicated books for them to
Hmm.
learn some vocabulary. And I think it's not just vocabulary; it's a style
Yeah,
of
that's right.
writing and speaking.
Yeah, even grammar, syntax, the way you construct the sentences.
Hmm.
So when it comes to academic English, for instance, yeah, the structures tend to be more complex. You have got longer sentences with a lot of clauses in them,
Hmm.
a lot of
Hmm.
subordinate clauses, a lot of relative clauses, and things like that,
True, true.
and a lot of references.
Hmm.
The style is completely different. And another level is legalese, the legal
Hmm.
language, which is it's crazy. It's completely mad. And yeah, and compared to normal speech, to normal discourse, when people communicate with each other like this,
Hmm.
which the words tend to be simpler. There are what we call also some discourse markers,
Hmm.
and there's it's more like natural speech is completely different, right? With there are interruptions, hesitations, and false starts, and things like that. So yeah, if we were to analyze, because each of these can be understood as texts, right? So you have academic English text, and you have like a text of what we are saying now, which we would have to transcribe it. It would have to be a transcript, but it would also be a text, like a discourse, right? So
Hmm.
it's completely different. Yeah, you're right. Um, so um, so you don't look up words that you don't
No,
know while reading,
no.
unless they are very important. Would you?
That's true. That's true.
How
That's
do you
true.
know? How can you have you developed a skill to be able to guess if a
Yeah,
word is important or not? So
true. Yes, yes,
what
sometimes.
what's
Yeah,
how do you know?
actually, the text is not only one sentence. When you start reading it, you know the topic, you know what the text is about, and I think your brain is immediately prepared to use the right vocabulary.
Mhm,
So even I think that we try to connect it with our mother tongue. And
mhm,
when I read, yeah, sometimes I just guess a word in what it means in my language, and I think that more than 50% I'm right.
mhm,
Yeah, but I usually do not read very complicated text. I choose my level.
mhm.
It's upper intermediate, and I
I'm
I
sorry,
really,
Dennis, but
yeah,
you should
or
stop doing that.
intermediate, right?
You should now be
Really.
able to read any text there, more or less. Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry,
I'm able. I'm
you
able.
have to stop
But
doing that.
yeah, I enjoy reading without thinking when I'm in the upper intermediate level.
But you shouldn't
And
do that.
Yeah.
because you should try to make more progress. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
if you only read upper intermediate texts, yes, maybe it will be a more
More
pleasant experience,
enjoyable.
more
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable for you because you will understand everything, but you will not be learning as much.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're
And
right.
or upper intermediate texts, it's going to be graded. So you
Mm-hmm.
are at this level, Dennis. You've reached a very high level of English now, and at this level, you should
Thank
be able
you.
to read original book like books in original. So go
Mm-hmm.
for it. Like try it. There's still a difference, right? So, for example, I like fantasy. Yeah? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not an avid reader. I'm not a bookworm or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. But my favorite genre is fantasy, and there is
Mm-hmm.
a big difference between reading Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, J.
Shakespeare.
Martin. Oh, Shakespeare. Well, Shakespeare is not the worst.
Yeah.
Martin, The Song of Ice and Fire.
Mm.
What we know, the Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Try reading that in original, and it's not easy. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of plot lines and uh, complicated language. He uses a lot of like words from the Middle Ages and think like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know these things, so you will have to look them up. I was struggling with that more than I expected when I was reading that book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, just wanna you can read original, but there is still difference between individual writers and their style and the way they write.
True.
So
True.
so some writers are more feasible or more readable, let's say, for you,
Mm.
more digestible as a learner.
I
Such
agree.
a terrible word, but yeah, digestible.
True. Yeah, and I understand you.
Yeah.
And one more thing about learning a foreign language, it's a mental challenge. It's, I think, most demanding mental activity you can do. So it's even healthy.
Mm,
So I think that's also one of the reasons I still try to improve my English. It's good enough for this level. It's completely enough and for my job,
yeah.
but I still want to improve because
You
it's a
should. You
challenge.
you
It's a
should want.
challenge.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. It's a lovely challenge as well, and
Mm-hmm.
you just have to have the right mindset. As
Mm-hmm.
long as you have the mindset like Dennis, everyone like you have to be positive. He's humble enough to know that it's hard to progress. It takes time. As Dennis said at the beginning, it's a marathon. It's a long journey. If you are willing to accept that and just embrace it and enjoy the process
True.
rather than worry about the results you get and compare yourselves with others or even with yourself and be kind of mm, be constantly down about the fact that you are not improving as fast as you would like to. If you can just kind of let this get out of your brain, let this,
True.
if you can completely ignore this and have the right mindset and the positivity and all that, then you can really improve a
Yeah.
lot. Yep.
The worst thing, people who are trying to learn English say or think is that taking a course is uh, is enough, or
Mm,
there are some levels. When I
mm.
come to level fifth, the game is over. It's not true.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's not true.
yeah.
Teachers are sometimes are not honest and then don't want. I remember one of my colleague. She is an English teacher,
Uh-huh.
and when I speak to her and when I actually discuss the process of learning a foreign language, she says to me, don't say that to students because they're not going to be motivated at all when they recognize that it's a marathon. It never stops. There is no finish line.
This is the problem, Dennis. This is the
Yeah.
problem our industry has. It's
Mm-hmm.
bleeding, and it's
Mm-hmm.
this is like an illness. It's like a sickness,
Mm-hmm.
because the way everybody now is, and we are so we there's too much. There is an information overload everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody has a problem from time to time. In the past, we would ask someone smart or someone wise, maybe someone an elderly person who would have experience with it, or we would find a book in a library. But now you can Google literally anything. You can find courses to fix any kind of problem, any kind of error, any kind of anything you need to work on. You can have a accent reduction course.
Hmm.
You can have a course that expands your vocabulary. You can have a course that will make you fluent. But the problem is that we want to see those quick solutions, and it's the same with you get like on your mobile phone, if you kind of scroll through your social media, you get these sponsored ads which
Hmm.
offer you different courses depending on what you've clicked before.
Hmm.
And
True.
it could be anything, and it's so well made, this marketing, so well targeted, that sometimes it has happened to me, by the way. Sometimes I just click it because it's just they sell you this as a lie almost, right? They'll tell you, if you follow my course, if you do this, then I will change your life. Well, yeah, maybe their ideas make sense and all, but it comes down to you changing your routines in your life. Like with exercise, yeah. Okay, you may take a course where they teach you how to do yoga or something. But if you stop doing it when the
Yeah.
course is over, you have no chance. Like, it doesn't really help you at all. It's the same with English, taking English courses. You take a course, yeah, a B2 level course, and that's it. No, you have to learn on your own outside the class. You have to listen to podcasts and find ways you can learn. Without that, this is helpful, but it's
It's
also
not enough. It's not
and it's
enough.
also expensive. Yeah, so it's I don't know.
True.
Anyway, I have my courses too, by the way. Yeah, I have got two courses currently. The English through board games course, which is currently running. I've got a group of 6 people, and it's a very unique course where I teach. I
I can
s-
prove that. Yeah. I can
yeah,
say that it's true. Definitely. I've tried it.
I teach my learners how to learn English through board games. So I show them games and then we play them together, and I also correct their mistakes and things like that. So it's also like language. We work with the language as well. But I never tell my participants of the course, like, it's gonna change your life. This is magic. If you do this every day, you're suddenly gonna be C1 level, C2 level, whatever. No, it's not how it works. I don't like to lie to anyone, but I should because
You should. You should. If you
yeah,
want to earn a lot of money, you should
yeah,
learn to
I do,
lie.
Dennis. I want to earn a lot of money, yes, but
Yeah.
it's
But
but there's a
what?
clash in my head,
Yeah. What
conflicts.
I
I have an
really
inner conflict.
uh,
Yeah,
what I can say about your courses that they're really great. Uh, Zdenek actually creates a relaxed atmosphere where people come and enjoy talking. It's not like a traditional teacher waiting you to make a mistake and to catch you
waiting. What? Waiting
waiting you to make a
for
mistake
you. Waiting
for
for
you.
you.
Yeah, waiting for you.
I've just done it.
Okay. That's
I've
what I'm
just.
talking about.
You know what I did there? You know what I did there?
Yeah. So I really recommend him.
Oh,
He's a
thanks.
great, and I wish you all the best. And I really wish you to make a lot of
I hope.
money.
I hope you. Well,
You, yeah, you
it's
deserve
not.
it.
It's
You're
not really the meaning of.
hardworking. Yeah,
It's not really
I
the
know that
meaning
is
of
not
life,
your
right?
your meaning. Yeah,
It's
I
not the
know it.
meaning of life, or it's not the main thing, but it helps. Yeah, it helps because
Yeah.
if I can make more money, if people support me in my podcast, if
Mm,
people looking at it from my point of view now, not yours, guys, from my point of view.
mm,
If I do well as a teacher, as an online teacher, I can invest in this as well, and I can buy a better microphone, a better mixer.
true.
I can really upgrade the things I do. I can pay for an expensive course that will help me with
Mm,
certain aspects of my teaching. Yeah. So
and true, true. Zeni
that's
courses are
why
also affordable.
I should hire
That's
you.
that.
I should hire you
Yeah,
as my
because
marketer, Dennis.
it is not something which is I don't know, something that the others offer. Such cheap but
Really? Well, you
so
shouldn't have
valuable
said it, Dennis,
courses. Yeah.
because now I'm thinking of raising my prices actually after what you said.
Yeah, but I think if if they were more expensive, I wouldn't think that people would stay with you. I think that you are very wise. You create a community, and the community stays longer.
Mm.
So I think that it's a good model. It's a very unique, but
Mm.
I've been thinking about it, and I think it's a good choice. I
Yeah, I
would
like
do
it
it
too. I
the
really
same.
enjoyed it. I really enjoy it as
Mhm,
well. Like, especially I like Discord. Yeah, it's like my favorite
mhm,
platform. I've used it for
mhm,
long times.
mhm.
Discord specifically because it was designed originally for gamers. So, as
Yeah,
you know,
I
guys,
know.
I play games. So, but I think it's very useful for language learning as well because of the features it has.
It's
Because
perfect.
it creates this space of like it's different from Facebook, for instance. Yeah, I'm sorry,
Mhm,
Mark Zuckerberg. I hope I hope you don't mind me saying this, but this I know there are Facebook groups, yeah, but it's just rubbish because the algorithm is just I hate the algorithm there. It's nonsense. But with in this Discord group, it feels like it's really a place for you. It's like a unique space,
mhm.
and it gives you this idea. It's even called the Achievers Chamber. Yeah? So it's just for us, right? We don't let anyone else in unless they become a member.
And I think that not everyone are eligible to join the group.
That's right. Yeah.
I think first of all you must be a great woman
Uh,
or man, and I think the intermediate level is
yeah.
the
I,
is required.
yeah, but I have changed it now
Mhm,
because all members are B1, a B2 or C1 anyway. So I've
mhm,
realized well, I originally thought that it would be from the intermediate level from B1. But
mhm,
looking at all the members that I have there, I've realized that everyone will actually benefit if increase the if I sort of raise the raise the bar. So you have to be at least B2 now.
mhm.
I've changed it. Yeah,
Nice.
changed it. But of course, I can make exceptions. Like for example, I say it's 18 plus, and we have got a 17-year-old man in our group. So it's like, come on, like there is a bit of wiggle room. I'm not
Mm,
crazy, but you can't be elementary if you want to stay with us.
mm,
Absolutely not. Well,
yeah,
thank you very much, Dennis, for saying all these things. By the way, this is not planned. Dennis is just being nice. Being nice, yeah.
always.
Oh,
And I'm
excellent.
honest. I'm not exaggerating. I'm just saying what
I,
I think.
I'm I'm blushing, Dennis. We should stop this now. All right, let's let's move on to the feedback part. Yeah, this
Mhm.
video is going to be a little bit longer. I'll try to keep it short today. Let's just talk about the language a bit. Okay. So let's deal with pronunciation first. I'm just gonna change the order here a little bit. Yeah. So okay. Dennis, how would you read this first sentence?
It's a process that never ends.
Where is the stress on the first or the second syllable?
Maybe it's second process. It's a
Hmm.
process that never
No,
ends.
it's on. Okay.
It's on the
What if
first.
what if I tell you it's on the first one? Is it gonna help
Mhm.
you?
It's a process
It's a
that never
diphthong.
ends.
You need a diphthong. You need two double vowel, not o, but o, like phone, go,
Mm.
home. Yeah. Try again.
Process. It's a
Pro.
process.
That's it.
Process.
It's a process. That's right. So there's O. Yeah. So if
Mm.
anyone is interested, this is the diphthong. I really like pronunciation. I like analyzing pronunciation. Yeah, I'm quite geeky about that. So this is the vowel. This is the vowel sound you have there. Yeah. A lot of people. I think the problem is that this word exists in almost every language. Yeah, every European language, let's say, because it comes from Latin. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we all have it in our first language, and that's why often we just pronounce it similarly to our language, but it's actually process. Okay, Dennis, here we have got the same thing. Yeah. So how would you pronounce these three words? and focus
Ma-
on what I'm underlining here.
Theory, methods, marathon.
So if you can focus on it, if
Yes,
you have it in
true.
isolation, you know what the problem is. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Marathon,
Marathon.
methods, and theory. Yeah. So it's the good old th sound. Yeah. The voiceless th sound. It's also in this word,
Truth.
actually. Very good. Truth. Yeah. Okay. For some reason, there is also an issue with this, or I should stop using the words like problem and issue and error, and instead I should say, Dennis, there is room for improvement, and I should say, Dennis, there's something we can work on. Yeah, to be more positive. So, um, the pronunciation of this word, I've just said it.
Words.
Yeah, I just realized just said it. Uh, Word, yeah, word.
Words.
You have long sound.
Oh,
It's
words.
like
And
what
wordless.
like
Wordless.
Mhm. When you have to think for a long time, it's like it's exactly that sound. Uh, yeah,
Like a
it's
filler.
it's a
Oh,
filler, and I don't know why it's difficult for a lot of people to use it when they have to use it. So words. Go
yeah.
on.
Words.
You are saying
Wordless.
words, yeah. You are using o there, so you have to say words.
Words.
Better, much better. Yeah.
Words.
But maybe what helps is if you really prolong the vowel, maybe a little bit to the point when it almost becomes unnatural, but it will help you realize it. Yeah. And then cut it down.
Okay.
Words, word,
Okay.
word. It could be like
Yeah,
pronunciation
I
exercise,
know.
like
I know
almost
what you mean. I
you
know
have to
what you
be,
mean.
you have to give your articulatory organs a chance to say it, yeah, because it's difficult to say it when you speak because you are focusing on the meaning of what you are saying and you're focusing on other things. So I know it's difficult, but sometimes it's useful to do these little drills, to just pronounce these words in isolation or to even read out loud, just just to read out loud, because just to focus on one aspect on the pronunciation. So words, word list. Yeah.
Okay.
And how would you pronounce the name of that dictionary that we talked about, that Kindle has?
Word wise.
Uh-huh. So no, same problem. So
Word wise.
how do you say just think of
Word.
uh word
Word wise.
word word wise, word wise. Yeah. Okay, better.
Okay.
Um yeah, so this is a okay. Yeah, now we have got, what was this? I don't know what this was, Dennis. I don't know.
Going
Don't
to
know.
bed. Before
Oh, I
going to
do know.
bed,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
talked
yeah, yeah.
about
How do you pronounce this last
podcast.
word? How do you pronounce this last word?
Going to bed.
No, you don't. There's a difference, between these two
Yeah,
words.
there is
So,
bed and bad.
which one is short, and which one has a shorter vowel sound? Which one has kind of a longer vowel sound?
Going to bed. Bed is
Yeah,
short. Bad
mhm, that's it.
is long.
I say it's a longer vowel sound, but they are both short vowels for some reason. They are both short vowels technically, but the second sound, it's the open a, and you have to. It almost sounds like a long vowel, and that's because the final consonant is voiced. So in order to pronounce it, you have to actually kind of make it sound longer. If you don't, it's gonna be difficult to pronounce. Yeah, because if you have a word which ends with a voiceless syllable, like this one, then it's shorter, the vowel. Did you know that, Dennis? The same vowel can have a different length. It's this exactly the same vowel. I still haven't written the vowel, by the way. If you give me a second, is this one? Need to copy paste it here. So this is the vowel we are talking about. Is the a
Uh,
sound?
uh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
but there is
That
a
ugly one.
difference. There's a difference in pronunciation here, which not many people know. So if you have a voiced sound, like d is a voiced sound, you put your finger here, you feel d, 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 you feel vibration. So it's a voiced sound. Whereas t, as in bat, is a voiceless sound, so you don't feel vibration. It's t, t,
T. Yeah.
t. And the reason we need to prolong this vowel is because of that voiced sound. So you have to say bad, bad, bad. So it's like ah. Whereas bat is just ah. You see? Bat, bat, cat. So this can be quite tricky. So we've got
Yeah,
two
yeah, yeah.
the same vowel, but two different ways of pronouncing it. And then there's bed. So you just need to remember when there is e in spelling, it's I think it's never pronounced as a actually. So whenever you have a word which has e in spelling, it could be pronounced as e or a, or I'm sure there could be something else too, but never a. Yeah, as far as I know, never. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, that's that. And now we've got a few grammar things to uh, look at. So each word
Is described. Should be
exactly.
described.
You need passive. Yeah. Hmm. Can you remind us what you were talking about there?
Uh, the words from the Essential English Words book,
Yeah.
and there is a list, and there is definition for each word, and each word is described in several ways through a definition or a drawing,
Yeah. Yeah.
functioning in a sentence.
Hmm. Very good. Very good indeed. Okay. So you just need passive voice is described. Yeah. Very good. Now, what's the issue here? I actually think there was Max who was responding to that with a comment. I told him
Based,
that we would look
yeah,
at it later. Yeah,
yeah, based
Max,
off.
you were doing my job there. I like it. Maybe you should become a teacher yourself, Max. Why not? You should give it a go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe it should pays off. Turned out, but pays off.
So payout, yeah, exists as well as a phrasal
Payout.
verb, but
Uh-huh.
it means to spend or pay money, especially a lot of money. For example, we have paid out thousands of pounds in health insurance over the years. Yeah, so it has that meaning. But if something pays off,
You're right. Yeah.
if something pays off, again, it would help if you told us what the context was. Do you remember what the context was?
Uh, I was talking about the benefits of learning English.
Right, right. So if something pays off, it will yield good results, or if it will bring, it will be successful. Yeah. So for example, you work really hard in the gym, and all your hard work will really pay off because you will lose weight, you will be stronger, you will look better. Yeah. And it's the same in the same way when you um, join the Achievers Chamber or in any other way you learn English, it doesn't matter. The idea is that it will pay off one day, and that you will notice that you've made progress, right? That's the that's you get good value for your effort. Yeah, that's what payoff means. Something will pay off. All right, I figured it out, and it was really important for me, and I started learning English.
One it is unnecessary. I figured out that it was.
Hmm.
It's possible to say I figured it out, but in this
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sentence, I
yeah.
think it's
That's it. Hmm. So
I
I
figured
figured
out.
out that it was. So if you want to start with that clause like that, you need to delete
To
it.
omit, yeah, yeah.
You can say I figured it out when you refer to something you've already said, or when everybody knows what you're talking about, as a short sentence. I figured it out. That's fine. But don't use it with that. I figured out that, yeah. I mean, it's not a big mistake, this, to be honest. But- okay. You miss to practice writing when you read. What's wrong with that?
You don't practice writing when you read. It's better,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
You miss.
Absolutely. Hmm. Absolutely. So that's one thing. Yeah, I agree with you that the choice of verb is better if you just. What did you say? Want? What was the verb you used? Sorry, my
You
my
do not
brain.
practice. You do not
You don't.
practice.
Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
don't.
You
Yeah.
don't practice. Right. 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 Yeah. So you just use you just say don't practice. Yeah, I agree. That would be much more appropriate. But also, how do we use miss with a verb? What if you miss? What if let's say what if you always always did some kind what if imagine you always did an activity and now for a long time you haven't done it, maybe because you are too busy with doing something else or COVID happened or whatever. How would you use how would you make a verb, or how would you what would you use after this verb miss?
Um, um, I know, but I'm trying to say
Let's
it in
ima-
English. It's
okay, did you used to do something a lot before COVID happened and then you stopped doing it? Y- Is there something like that, or can you at least like
I missed
imagine?
it. I missed it. I miss the activity. I miss.
Or what? What? Give us the activity. We need an example here. So, gi-
I don't know. I miss running, for example. I
right,
miss.
right. Yeah, you said it correctly now. You
Yeah,
see? So you miss running.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gerund.
Or
You
you,
mean? It's
yeah, we need the
okay.
ing form. Or you missed. I missed. I really miss playing football. Yeah. I
But
mean, a lot of.
yeah. But you can also say I miss you.
Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. That's easy. Yeah. So miss plus object, or gerund, which is kind of in the which has the function of that object as well. Actually, you say I miss running. The the clause running, it's like a very short clause, but it's a clause, and it's in the position of object. Yeah, it's an object clause actually. Yeah. Okay. So just not don't use miss plus two like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not correct in English. Yep. All right. The more words you say,
The more words you say, the more fluent you sound.
no, that's correct. That's correct. You
Yeah.
corrected yourself really well. So what did you change there?
The more words you say, the more fluent you
Hmm.
sound. The word is is not
The word
correct.
the word order is a bit weird, but also
Yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
in this phrase, it's like what do we call this in mathematics, Dennis? Um, correlation. Is a correlation? No,
Correlation.
that's
Yeah.
no, that's
It
no. I don't want.
it
I
could
don't think.
be.
No,
The more words you say, the
no. There's like a direct link,
if
right?
this then then.
If
Yeah.
then,
Like
yeah, whatever it's
yeah.
called in mathematics.
Yeah.
um, that's what we are talking about. And remember, in English, there is this phrase, which is quite useful: the plus comparative structure. That's in the first clause, and then in the second clause, you have also the plus comparative structure. For example, the more you eat, the
The
more
more
the more energy you will have, or something like that. Or you could say the uh, the stronger you are, what
the stronger
the
you
better
are.
the stronger you are, the better you feel about yourself. Yeah. So you have
Yes.
the comparative structure, the strong, and it's interesting because the plus comparative structure, which is not really used in any other way. I think normally you would just say he's stronger than me, right? But here it's a special phrase which you can use it like this: the smarter you are, the bigger chance you have in convincing people to do what you want them to do, whatever, But there's always comparative plus comparative, and you always need the before each of these comparatives as well. All right, so very useful phrase, but you need to follow this pattern.
Mhm.
Okay, native speakers.
Don't understand some words from special field. Yeah,
So you want
it's a weird.
yeah,
It's from words from
the word special. I think you want to
mhm.
use s- specialized,
Special,
special,
specialize.
specialized fields, and also like
Hmm.
from some. Wait. You don't know some words
Some words from
from.
professional fields or
You could say that, yeah, or
yeah,
specialized fields.
specialized fields. Oh, okay.
I would also use a plural here. Yeah.
Hmm.
hmm
Definitely.
Oh, okay. I remember one of my colleague. She's an English teacher. What's wrong with this? This is fine. The second part is
Yeah,
fine.
that one is definitely fine. I I know, or maybe I remember. Is something
How
that
many colleagues do you have? Just one or a
no.
lot?
I remember one of my colleagues. Oh, that's
Exactly.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
If
definitely
you have
wrong.
the
If I
structure one off in English, you
yeah,
need
yeah, 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 yeah. One of my
because yeah,
colleagues.
because you are thinking there is
I
more
know
of
that. I
yeah.
know that. Maybe I just didn't say that S letter loud enough, but
Okay.
I don't. I
It
don't
might have
do.
been just a
Yeah,
slip. Yeah, it happens to the
yeah.
best of us. We just slip sometimes. I do it too. So how about the last one? Not everyone.
Is a, not everyone is a. Everyone is everyone used with are or is.
Uh-huh. That's a
Everyone
good
is
question.
invited. Everyone.
By the way, I like the word eligible, which means having the necessary qualities
Not everyone
or
is
requirements.
is eligible.
Is absolutely is, yeah.
Is yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember,
yeah. Hey, it's a
someone
tricky one.
it
Yeah.
it's not. It's just I think it's because again the first language I think is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
different here. Remember, someone, somebody, everyone, everybody,
Is
no
always
one,
is. Yeah.
nobody is always with is. These six, yeah?
Mm,
It's never with are.
mm.
Okay. And that's where we will leave it, Dennis. Let's see if we have got any comments here to deal with. Who are you talking about, Jolly? Me or Dennis? I really don't remember. I don't remember what
Yeah.
when this
Alpha
comment
man from
was
a
made.
story.
But you know what, Dennis? Let's just dream that it's both of us. Yeah.
Yeah, but then Jolly would use E letter. He is the alpha man. Ah, no, he is okay.
Alpha man. Alpha male. I think we say.
Yeah,
No,
alpha
maybe
male.
you can say alpha man as well. I guess, but the classic structure, the classic phrase is alpha male. Yeah, and haha as well. And on this note, Denise, I think we're gonna say goodbye to our viewers and thank them for their attention. And
Thank you,
yeah,
everyone.
don't forget to give us like, yeah, if you enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful. Tell your friends about this channel and about these weekly live lessons, or join the Achievers Chamber group. Why not? The link is in the description. Thank you, Dennis, for being my student today, and take care and keep learning English. It's fun.
Thank you very much, Zdenek. I really
You-
enjoyed.
You're very welcome.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye bye.